officials that you have elected.
The sheriff badge you got there.
Yeah.
How do you obtain one of those?
You have to get in contact with the person who made them.
I think he's in pub. I'm going to have a word.
Yes.
My name's Rob the Rat Catcher, and we're swearing in oaths for sheriffs, which will be replacing all police forces in the United Kingdom eventually, because they're past their sell-by date and they're not fit for purpose. We are setting a precedent today, and if we can get enough peace officers in one area, we will be standing down that local police force.
Have you had much interest today?
Yes, absolutely. We're inundated, as you can see. We're
You don't want to replace the police, you just want to hold them accountable, is that
no,
right?
we're replacing the police.
I'm signing the oath to give myself and, like the others, powers to act under common law rights.
We're not doing common law.
Oh, it does. I thought it said under common law, position of common law sheriff.
Yeah, but
it's still using the legal
Right.
to arrest, because that's what they done.
you're right in a sense.
Yes,
So, under my common law rights as a sheriff, which also acts under the legal system, to arrest
that's what they
someone if they do any wrongdoing to us or anybody else.
New sheriff's name.
This is a Peace Officers UK and the oath of office, which is my promise to the Creator of all things, as a sheriff, deputy soldier, of all that was and all that shall be, I, my name Laura, of the family so forth, being of sound mind and clear conscience, do hereby swear my oath of allegiance and promise to the Creator that I will serve and protect the people and their property, and that I will faithfully and justly execute the position of common law sheriff according to the best of my abilities, under the supervision of our Heavenly Father and the Common Law Sheriff's Department. I understand that if I violate this oath or betray the responsibility, mandate, trust of my position, I will have forfeited my right to that position and can be dismissed. I take this solemn oath promise to the Creator freely, which I do, without coercion, which is true, or ulterior motive, according to my conscience. I'm using my conscience, sound mind to do this, as a sovereign and free living woman under the Creator's law, authority and jurisdiction to common law and to its courts and officials.
And downstairs in that beautiful studio is Mark Bannerman, the famous Bannerman himself, which you've all had a look at these videos on this channel, and we loved it. And Marcus dressed up there in
I didn't know Robin Hood looked like this.
well, I didn't either, and you're watching us on the screen there. Laura, you were signing up as one of these sheriffs with that chappie. I call him the rat catcher, but he's doing look. At least he's trying. But as I said,
yeah, it left me a bit confused. I wasn't sure which jurisdiction I was in. This week just gone, they all got together to complete their oaths, but I didn't complete it, sadly.
yeah, it was good. You stood up for the fact it was common law. They said it and repossessions, which is you've done a fantastic job, and I love your stuff.
Wire caught here. Oops, there we go. Yeah, what I like to just say about people, send it to people like myself and Lundlove and Laura.
You didn't get sucked in. That was good.
No, I didn't.
Sheriff really has the distinction of being the longest continuously existing non-military law enforcement entity. The history of the office, we can go back at least to the year 890 AD. So we're talking 1100, 1200 years ago. King Alfred was on the throne, and he wrote this document called the Book of Dooms. It sounds like some kind of modern day video game or something, but really it was about crimes and punishments. In other words, if you commit this crime, if this is your offense, then this would be your doom, this would be your punishment that would go along with it. And in this Book of Dooms, he references a particular official, a particular official known as a reeve, R-E-E-V-E, kind of loosely translated as a guardian. And the reeve was the king's representative into a particular local area, a particular geographical jurisdiction. And the reeve was responsible for maintaining law and order and peace and safety within the community. They also did things like tax collection, mediated disputes. And they had the authority to call out something called the posse comitatus, which I'll talk about here in more detail in just a moment. And so these reeves were assigned to a geographical jurisdiction known as a shire. And we still have shires over there in England today, don't we? You got Devonshire, Lincolnshire, Worcestershire, if you need some steak sauce. And so the reeve was the king's representative assigned into a shire to do all of those things. So he was known as the reeve of the shire. There he goes, the shire reeve. And that's where we get the word sheriff from. So now you know that little bit of trivia. That could be the $1 million question. You won't even have to call me for a lifeline. Now you'll know. Fast forward a few hundred years, and we got the Norman Conquest. William of Normandy comes into England. King Harold is on the throne. King Harold is defeated, but William is so impressed by the tenacity, the courage, and the loyalty of the sheriffs that were there under King Harold's rule that he kept that office. So nowadays in England, the office of sheriff is still there, but it's pretty much kind of fallen into disuse. There's a weakening of the authority. It's much more ceremonial in nature. But think about this. When the colonists came over here and began to colonize America, they brought with them the common law of England, and they brought with them this office of sheriff. And in 1634, we have Captain William Stone being appointed as the first sheriff on American soil in Northamptonshire, Virginia. And then look at this, just a few years later in 1652. Folks, this is 120-something years before we declared our independence from Britain. What are we doing in America? We're electing our sheriffs. We are electing our government representatives because we understood the power and authority that was attached to that. The power comes from the people. Our founding documents are very clear, and then you then entrust and share and delegate that authority with these officials.